A warm welcome back to the Solitas Summit studio. A new set of panelists, new opportunities. And I will, of course, introduce the three fantastic experts that are sitting here with me now. We have Rebecca Hammel. She leads the Solitas work in Sweden to integrate software development with data and AI expertise. She has a background at KTH, which happens to be my university as well, so go KTH. But she's also a dedicated runner who coaches classes and competes in long distance races. Welcome.
Thank you.
And next to you, we have Radia Belosin. Radia is an AI expert, business expert, joining us all the way from Belgium. She's passionate to combine organization with the powers of technology and team leadership to make magic happen. But on your spare time, I find this really interesting. You love your family, you love hanging out with them, but you also love hunting for extraordinary houses and reinventing spaces with seasonal decor.
Yeah,
super interesting.
absolutely.
We can talk about that afterwards. And last but not least, we have Mika Heini. You're the business area lead for Solitas cybersecurity practice, working to make the society safer step by step. But outside of work, you mostly chase footballs and golf balls. You try to make golf balls go the way you want them to go, which is easier said than done.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately. And just to do a quick recap of the program and the sessions that you've been watching, we've seen presentations from Gasum, LKAB, Scania, Traficom, GS1, and from Solita experts. So let's start with you, Rebecca, a company that I'm pretty familiar with too, and I've been so impressed by how they look at processes and work with processes within their whole company, Scania. So what did you hear?
Well, Scania was talking about how they've been working with documenting their processes. And the case really shows how powerful it is when you actually get control of those. However, from my experience, most companies don't have this type of control or actually the management support to achieve it. But when we're now entering this development within the AI field, this is really the time to actually start this kind of work. And maybe some companies don't understand the value of it, or it's because of time constraints or budget. They don't have started this kinds of work. But what we could say is that if you want to start automating processes and actually have the ability to be more productive, you need to get the basics right. There won't be any shortcuts in this case.
That's interesting. We tend to talk about getting your data right.
Yeah.
That's important, but the processes are equally important.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. And Mika, what about you?
Yeah, I was following the discussion on the secure software development for IT leaders. And like you, Rebecca, said about the basics, setting them right. I think in this regard, software development processes is not that different from, let's say, HR process. You have to have the basics, and basically it's the people who set the basics right for that also, and then the AI can start help you transform those processes. And to me, at least, it's not that the leader has to know everything and about the underlying bits and pieces and so forth, such as coding practices or cloud architectures or whatnot. But what they should have the understanding of is the process they are practicing. So pretty much including the things like risk management, secure by design, including transparency in the process. Those things should be in the top of mind for each leader.
And Radia, what about you?
I have to say, I completely agree with what Rebecca and Mika mentioned. Even if there are some exceptions, what we notice is that most companies don't have their processes under control at the moment. And this is really becoming an issue when you start bringing in AI in the equation. Because how do you want to improve your work with AI if you don't know how work is done at the moment? So what I really see is that many companies invest massively into incredible, super advanced models, but even the best models risk staying pilots if you don't have your processes under control.
And did
have
you
to-
see this in any specific talks that you listened to?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think GASM and LKB both highlighted that in different ways, actually. So GASM, for example, they showed us that building strong data foundation and upskilling the people is essential, but that investment will only pay off if you really have your new way of working embedded into that day-to-day process. That is quite important to know. And LKB, they reminded us that change is never easy. And actually, there is no single right path. But if you have shared goals and guiding discipline in place, that will help you and allow you to redesign process in a way that technology will support business value. And I will finish on that note. It's very rare, actually, that AI fails because the math is wrong. Usually it's because the process is missing. So I would say get your process right and the business value will follow.
Great tip. So Mika, anything else? Something that we haven't talked as much about is regulations and the role in all of this. Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, I think the regulation was present in multiple presentations, well, especially in EU, we face a lot of regulation. For example, Säästöpankki or Savings Bank Group was talking about DORA, then NIS2, CRA, EU AI Act, to name a few. And once again, to be able to navigate through these different regulations, you have to have the understanding of the process you practice and you run, and then of course you have to have also the understanding on the regulation, and then actually it's after that you can start creating the smart strategies and use the technology then. To try to achieve the compliance and in the end the resilience.
Anything else that we've forgotten to touch upon?
No, I don't think so.
No. Did they talk anything about sort of, because when we talk about regulations, we tend to talk about how can you sort of, well, not stifle, how do you regulate without stifling innovation and to handle that? Did anyone touch upon that?
I think that's like the $1 million question.
Yes, it is.
How to
It
do that.
really is.
Exactly.
That we're all trying to solve still.
Yeah.
So maybe that will be the focus 2026 at
Yeah.
Solita
Yeah.
Summit. Yes. Thank you so much, all three of you, for joining me. And you'll come back and help me wrap up this event. So thank you for now.
Thank you.